Capricorn, hello, and welcome to your Spring 2023 Shapeshift reading. We're looking at the shape you're shifting out of, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shapeshift looks and feels like for the spring season. I'm Andy, I'm your reader, and I'm joined by the Energy Archaeology Oracle by Ashley Stinson. I chose this deck because it features the skeletal system. It's a very somatically oriented deck, meaning it talks about the parts of the body, specifically the bone structure. And when I think of spring, I think of like bones creaking and opening and cracking back to life. So we're gonna see what that means for you, Capricorn, this spring. Okay. Show us the shapeshift for Capricorn this spring. Whoa. Okay, we're peacocking. That's nice. One second. One more. Okay. Oh, jeez. Baby, we got, oh wait, yes, okay. This is nice. We got 3 Ps. 3 Ps on the board. We have, let me just see what order they want to go in. Okay, you know, Capricorn, I'm not really sure that this is a traditional shapeshift. I think it's all sort of just thematically happening at once. So let's look at this together. We have potential, pulse, and pride. I love the 3 Ps for you. So potential in this deck is represented by the hyoid bone. This is a floating bone that's located right in the front of your windpipe in your throat. You can feel it probably if you gently place your hand on your throat. It's really sensitive. And it's just really sort of floating there to help protect the front of your throat. Okay, so that's interesting. Hyoid, potential. Then we have pulse, shown by the bones of the wrist. These carpal bones that are sort of like blown out into outer space, all separated from one another. Normally they're very tightly packed in the carpal tunnel. And then we have pride, represented by the second finger and toe, so your pointer finger. And here we've got this like peacock animal showing up to illustrate this idea of pride. So what is this saying? There must be like some sort of new potential that you are tapping into here. And I see it as like, whatever this potential is that's beginning to reveal itself to you, it's like opening everything up. Because with the peacock, we have a moment of just like feathers spreading wide open so that you can see the full flourish, the full bloom, the full, all of the many colors that are incredibly attractive, Capricorn. So there's some sort of, maybe you're tapping into the potential that is within you to really showcase everything that you are. But then when I think of the potential in your pulse, and even like the wrist bones that are normally, again, so packed tightly, are like blown, spreading out and blown out open. Maybe this is opening up something in terms of your natural rhythms. Yeah, because when I think of pulse, I think of your heartbeat. I think of like the rhythm that you normally operate at through your day-to-day experience. And maybe there's something in that that's like opening up, becoming a little more free-flowing, or maybe expanding, changing in some way. Like when you tap into this sense of potential, I'm getting like the feeling of my heartbeat starting to quicken, and then my blood starting to flow. And then that gives me the confidence to like peacock in my pride, you know, like to be like, ooh, okay, so maybe there's something here, Capricorn, very physical and very literal. We are dealing with a physical, somatic body deck. Maybe there's something here about like, if you increase your pulse, your heart rate, like get your heart rate up, you know? Do some sort of physical activity that gets your heart going. You tap into your own like pride, you know, like your sense of pride in yourself and your sense of confidence and the potential that's within you to like showcase everything that you are, to say like, oh, I like that it's the second finger, the pointer finger, because it's like, come here, let me show you myself, you know? Okay, interesting. I mean, this is you right in the center of the reading here, Capricorn. And it's so bright and it's so flamboyant and you can't ignore it. I mean, I will say thus far in the zodiac, going from Aries to Capricorn, no one has gotten this peacock energy. And there's been quite a few repeat cards. Pulse is one of them, by the way, that has come out for so many folks. But for you, Capricorn, oh man, I don't know. You're just like, you're here. You're loud. You're proud. And I think you're doing something. It's interesting too to think of like potential as this hyoid bone. The potential that just lies right here. This is a little gross, but like when something is just like right, ready to come out, it's just right here. So maybe this is something, Capricorn, that's been like just under the surface for you, sort of waiting for the right season. You know, spring, things are warming up. Maybe you're feeling like, you know, you want to dress a little flashier, you want to move a little more. Suddenly the pulse is quickening and your body is like waking up and saying, okay, I'm ready. That potential, that seed, that energy that's just been dormant right under the surface all winter, or maybe longer for you, Capricorn, if this is like a wider scope of your life kind of thing I'm talking about. It's just right here at the hyoid bone. And it's ready to make its way up and out. So we could be absolutely talking about communication. You know, we could be talking about something about you just owning your self-expression a whole lot more, or realizing the potential that's there when you express yourself, or the potential you have to express yourself a little more flamboyantly, a little more colorfully, in a way that people can really see your confidence, your sense of pride. Okay. And we're going to have to get into this a little deeper, but it's somehow a rhythmic shift for you with this pulse. Whatever this potential is that you're holding, and I love that the potential card is being shown as this like very full, steaming, almost like overflowing cup. Oh, this makes me think of like when the snow melts in the spring and the streams and the brooks just like are at their peak. They are overflowing with water. That's what this is. There is this sort of like moment of peak experience showing up this spring. So this full cup is resting on your hyoid, just like ready to overflow, ready to burst out, ready to flower. I wonder what they call it when the peacock does one of these. Maybe I'll look it up and we'll talk about it in the extended. Before I leave you here on this free YouTube side of things, let's look into pride. What a this just all feels really refreshing. You know, like what a refreshing reading for Capricorn. I'm so happy to share something like this with you this season. Okay. Yeah. When you're willing to be who you are, pride opens and clears the channel. Interesting with the throat, the potential. Clearing the channel clears the potential, you know, for more energy to flow to you and through you. And when I think of more energy flowing, I think of like blood flowing through your veins, and again that pulse quickening, and you're now there's sort of this unconscious nod to your heart beating and opening and wanting to give more and receive more. Like there's really something here about when you are true to who you are and you're willing to show that and express that, even like very flamboyantly out in the world, so much potential opens up for not only you to attract, you know, we do have the second finger here, for you to attract things to you with that beautiful refuge, but also for you to express and give of yourself. There's this really gorgeous like two-way street that happens and is opening up and becoming much more spacious. Oh, taking up space, that's what this is. You know, busting out of your tiny little carpal tunnel that does absolutely keep everything nice and secure and safe. And like, listen, in our body, obviously we need that in our wrist, but we're seeing here just like a metaphorical idea of those bones that are usually so cramped up together, just like getting to breathe a little bit more and getting to have a little bit more space, you know? So if you've been kind of like locked up all winter, feeling a little claustrophobic, you're getting wide open spaces here in the spring. There's so much potential here for you to get up and out, to see and be seen with the peacock energy. You know, it's very flirty. It's very flirtatious. It's very like, okay, I need to be beautiful outside in the presence of others and see other people being beautiful outside in my presence, you know? And all of this is incredibly Leo energy. So, and even like the heart opening stuff. So maybe there's something in Leo's reading for you to check out. Oof. Absolutely bursting with potential here. What else can we learn about pride? Yeah, I mean, we can talk about this. I think a lot of us know about this already or have thought about this, but in case it's a theme for you right now, having pride has become synonymous with being boastful, arrogant, and self-satisfied, things many believe should make you feel shame, blame, and guilt. This distorted version of pride keeps you small, unable to see past yourself into something larger, and it makes you believe you have something to prove. Okay, so that's interesting. Like this association with pride that is really just an inflated ego of like arrogance and self-importance really comes from an insecurity, and it comes from a smallness and a sense of, well, I need to prove myself. So I need to like puff out my chest and make some feathers happen. And see, I'm prideful. I'm prideful. I'm good. So this is not about proving yourself. It's about a natural pride that emanates from a sense of like very real confidence. And like very real connection with your own, with who you really are, your own truth, and your own flow, since we have pulse, your own rhythm. And when you're willing to just like live in that and be in that, the pride happens naturally. You don't have to manufacture it or like create it through arrogance or inflation. Yeah, in truth, pride simply demands that you be who you are, in all caps. There is nothing shameful about that. So fan your metaphorical tail out. Show the world that you're here to what you are here to bring. And then align to a state of giving and receiving, feeling supported and activating at the same time. That's that like flow through the heart, is the ability to receive and give, and let that be your pulse. Pride opens and clears the channel for more energy to flow through you because you are who you are. And because you've declared to the universe that you are willing to be this person out in the world. It's real nice, Capricorn. It's such a good reading. So we got to get into this now. I've got some other decks here. The Fifth Spirit Tarot, Octospawn and Oracle decks. We're going to get into this and see how this is specifically showing up for you this spring. So if this is resonating so far and you want to view the whole reading, you can do that in the shifting space. This is an online community that follows these shift readings every season, and we investigate them together over the course of the season to figure out not just how they are resonating with us, but how the readings connect to one another and connect to the larger astrology that's unfolding for all of us, collectively and individually. So if you're into that kind of sleuthing, then the shifting space really might be the place for you. And maybe I'll see you for the full reading. You can click the link in the description box below, and that will take you to a place where you can read about the shifting space. And if it's the right thing for you, then I'll see you for the rest of this, Capricorn. Ooh, baby, the cards are popping. Here we go.